I've been waiting to do this video for a long while, and this is something I get asked a lot. I know it's a sensitive topic, but how do you keep coming up with so many ideas that you can make loads of videos to keep your social media channels active, keep your audience interested, and keep promoting your business? Hard, isn't it? Now, we do this for 6 different social media channels at the moment, posting 2 or 3 times a week, every month for every channel. That's a lot of ideas, and we've got more ideas than we know what to do with. We're throwing ideas away. So I'm going to share today 3 ways that we come up with great ideas, and also at the end, I share a couple of other tips which will help you switch on your brain, get it tuned in so you can come up with these ideas in the first place. Every time someone comes up to you and asks you a question, whether it's related to your business or maybe it's a client asking you a question or a potential client, write that question down. Because if they're asking it, you can guarantee someone else is going to ask it down the line too. In fact, there's probably a few questions which you get asked all the time and you can almost roll off the answer in your sleep. Do you know those things I mean? Well, make those into a video. Make those into several videos. You can put it on your website, maybe with a blog, or maybe in one frequently asked questions page, have a whole series of videos. So the next time you meet someone, maybe at a networking meeting or something, and they ask you that question, then you don't have to answer it in full. You can maybe answer it briefly and say, look, I've written a blog about this on the website with a video which goes into a lot more detail and really answers your question in depth. Here's my card, go and have a look and get back to me if you've got any further questions. Now, why that's great is because it gets people to go to your website. They get their answer to their question, so you don't have to repeat it again. And they get to be in your world and see some of your other stuff. They're more likely to engage with you, follow you, or maybe even buy some of your stuff. So frequently asked questions, super powerful. Now I know what you're doing. You're looking at this video and thinking, can't do that, that's stealing. I'm not talking about copying someone else's ideas. I'm talking about using their ideas to inspire your own. Go and see what your competition's doing on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you hang out. Go and hang out in their places too. See what works for them and use those ideas to inspire your own. The other thing you can do, if you work in a business where you're territorial, so you only do business in a certain area, there's bound to be other people like you who are doing pretty much the same thing as you somewhere else for their area. Get in touch with them. Ask them if they fancy getting together and forming a little bit of a Zoom call once a month where you can come up with lots of ideas and share your ideas together. Because your audience won't be seeing what they're doing because they're 100 miles up the road. So that's a great way to use your competition to help you come up with some great video ideas. Now hear me out on this because this is actually a really good idea. It doesn't work on YouTube, but it'll work everywhere else. Let's just say you've posted a video on Instagram. It's done really well. It's got loads of likes, shares, follows, saves, all that. What's to stop you posting it again in 4 months' time? Well, those people who followed you 4 months ago, they won't have all seen it. In fact, there's a fairly big chance the algorithm will have only shown it to a few people. So there's a lot of your original followers who won't have seen it. And in fact, out of the people who did see it, they might have skimmed past it, maybe only watched the first 5 seconds, or just plain forgot. And also, if you're doing your social media properly, you'll have new followers in 4 months' time who certainly won't have seen that video 4 months ago. So there's certainly no harm in recycling content and using it again and again. If it works one time, it'll work another time. Now, I did promise a couple of bonus things here, which will help you switch on your brain so you start letting all that creativity come in. There's no point sitting there with a blank piece of paper wondering what you're going to post on social media that day, next week, week after, because there's a fair chance you won't come up with anything. There is inspiration everywhere. So have a notebook, write it down, have a notes app on your phone where you can keep tabs on all this stuff, even if it's just a sentence to jog your memory and remind you of that little bit of inspiration you had. And the other thing that I do, which works really well, is I go and do something to clear my head. The place where I really get my best ideas is when I go running. I go cross-country running quite a lot. There's a forest just around the corner for me that I love going to. When I'm out there running, I'm really not thinking about anything else. I'm just enjoying the experience. And when your mind is open, you let stuff in. And that's where you can start being really creative. When you've got a ton of other stuff to think about, you aren't going to come up with ideas because your brain's just too cloudy, it's too full of stuff. So I do have some other things on our website which will really help you when it comes to coming up with creative ideas. I've just skimmed the surface here, so go and have a look. There's a full blog on our website, and if you've got any more inspiration, how do you get your ideas? Let us know in the comments below. Have a great day. Bye.